I can't tell you about the best air and earth weapons because they are not currently in the game, but there certainly are some water and fire weapons which are so strong you don't want to miss out, so keep watching. Hello everybody and welcome back to another update sneak peek video. Since Chinese New Year won't happen this time, we definitely need to talk about different weapons. Because explosive weapons won't be featured at all. Instead, we will see some new types of weapons like air and earth, as well as some currently in the game, water and fire to be exact. And I predicted that this time it will be a fighting style event, so you will need the best weapon you can get. Don't worry guys, I got you covered with the best 3 water and 3 fire weapons you can have currently in the game. There are definitely more than these 3 water and fire weapons which are good in the game, but in my opinion, these 3 of each type are the best ones you can use to get a lot of kills in multiplayer. As for the other weapons, like air and earth, there will be some new released during the event, also for free I guess, because how else would you get your hands on them? And I'm pretty sure you can also buy some for real money, because the ones you will get for free are not that good usually. And before we finally get into the tier list, make sure you still subscribe, because YouTube sometimes unsubscribes you for no reason at all. So yeah, go check if you're still subscribed, and if you're not, go click that subscribe button and help me out. And now, without further ado, let's just get into it. Starting with the fire weapons, the first really good one for getting kills in almost every map is the fire spitter. I made sure to include this into the list because it's free during this event right now if you can get to the 3rd to last tier. And I also included this because I think most of you already own this weapon, since it was winnable for free sometimes in the past, and it's also often for sale for real money. So if you're still missing this weapon, I recommend you do the event and get it for free. It's a really solid fire weapon and I'm pretty sure it will show up in more top 3 lists in the future. Now to the weapon stats, it has a fast fire rate and a high damage output up close. It gets a bit lower to the distance and you don't actually have that much range, so I recommend you use it in close quarter. Also, this weapon manages to get headshots quite consistently. I don't know why, I think it's because it's just this beam of fire. But still, this can help you out a lot if you are in a tricky situation. Just get a lucky headshot and boom, your enemy's dead. Okay, with close range covered, let's show you the mid-range weapon. Now stay with me because this is gonna be confusing. The mid-range weapon is the fire spatter with an A. Pretty similar names and pretty similar in strength. This one is another really good weapon you can use. It's a fire shotgun with a pretty long range and it also has the burning effect, so you basically have to hit your enemies once and they'll burn to death. This weapon was free in the past and a few times actually, because it's also part of a lot of different bundles. Like I already said, it's pretty decent in getting kills because you most of the time just one-shot your enemies, and because it's a shotgun you can also easily buff it by 50%. I mean, you still need the right gear to buff it, but there's actually no need to, it's just one hit anyways. Moving on to long range, we have this weapon I'm currently using. Called the Franken's T1, and it's a long range assault weapon with the fire damage type and burning effect as well. Just like the shotgun, it's pretty powerful on range and mid-range, and also it has the one-hit potential if you buff it a little. Its fire rate is on the slower side, but because you get everyone 2-shot, it's pretty damn good. I don't think that it was available for free in the past, so you have to buy it, and if you did, congratulations, you basically have the best all-rounder for this whole event. You can just use it whenever you need to use the fire weapons. It's also pretty accurate, so there's that. Great, we covered the top 3 fire weapons I recommend you using, And now we just need to move on to the water weapons, because this event is based around all 4 elements. And the first water weapons I picked are the dual soaker pistols. This one was winnable for free a few times. It could also show up in the store for gold, and it is part of a lot of bundles, so basically a lot of the players own this weapon. And to be honest, I have no complaints at all. This weapon is so solid, you should definitely use it. Stats are short to mid-range, a high reload speed as well as decently fast fire rate, and the damage is also pretty good. As every water weapon does, this one slows down your enemies as well as their reload speed and their gadget cooldown. Or no, not actually, you can't use gadgets at all once you're soaked. But, and this is true for every water weapon, it can be nerfed by 100% if your enemy has the right gear. Moving on to the long range weapon, which also works in close range, as you can see right now in the background. It's the Sea Dog Cannon. It's available for gold, I don't know how much, but it's probably worth it because it's a pretty good water weapon. As I already said, I recommend using it in long-range maps because you won't kill yourself with it if you're using it in long-range maps. But you can also use it in really corner-based maps like Headquarters. It most of the time one-shots your enemies once you hit them directly or the ground directly before them. And given that it's an explosive or splash type weapon, you can hit multiple enemies and also splash them around the corners. It has a slow fire rate and reload speed, but it has unlimited range. The splash radius is also pretty big, and this allows you to hit your enemies even if you miss them by a little. Given that the Sea Dog Cannon is considered a water launcher, you can also damage buff it by quite an amount. But I'm sure this won't be necessary since you just one-hit everybody. The final weapon I'll be covering in this video is the Splatter Shotgun. It's a water type shotgun, meaning that it can be buffed pretty easily with the right gear, and it's close to mid-range. This weapon, as well as the gear bundled with it, is currently on sale, so if you still need a good water weapon, go ahead and buy it. I recommend it because I think this one is the best water weapon you can use in this event, if you need to use water weapons. You can compare this shotgun to the Fire Spatter, the fire shotgun I mentioned earlier in this video, because they are just really similar. The range is almost the same and the damage is too, but the water weapon obviously utilizes the water effect instead of the burning one. So instead of burning them to death, you will just slow them down so they can't get out of your range, and a second shot will finish them off. Unfortunately, I can't provide you with information regarding the air and earth weapons, because there's no leaked information about those elements, and it's still 5 days till the update by the time recording this, and Digital Legends hasn't released any further information. But I will definitely cover the new weapons and elements once I actually get my hands on them. I don't know if I'm able to get the paid ones because I'm basically getting them from my own money and I can't afford that much gear if something new like this comes out. So subscribing would help me out a lot here, because if I can get to 1000 and monetize this, I can also buy the bundles for you and make this a lot better. Also, before I go, I have 2 more informations for you that might interest you. The first one is that I will discontinue the map guide series because I have the feeling that no one actually needs this information, so there's no point in doing videos about it. And for the second point, I'm planning to do the reviews of the newly released weapons in German again, because there will be a lot of English reviews, so there's no point in doing that. Might as well help out the German community. And finally, with that out of the way, I thank you for watching it all the way to the end. And we will see us tomorrow. Bye guys.